This is Mindfulness with Richard. This series focuses on mindfulness meditation. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. I'm Richard Clarke. Welcome. We've been exploring several advanced aspects of mindfulness practice in the last few weeks, including cultivating equanimity, dealing with difficult emotions, exploring impermanence, deepening concentration, developing witness consciousness, and applying mindfulness in everyday life. In today's session, we will explore impermanence and how it relates to mindfulness practice. We'll learn to understand and accept the impermanent nature of all things and develop a deeper understanding of the transitory nature of our thoughts and emotions. And I will also suggest a way to accept this impermanence and not suffer from it. In our daily lives, we feel like things will remain the same forever, and we may resist the changes that come our way. But in reality, everything in life is impermanent. Everything changes. Everything that comes will eventually go. Impermanence refers to the idea that everything is constantly changing and in a state of flux. This means that everything, including our bodies, our emotions, our thoughts, and everything we care about is continually changing. This includes all physical objects, relationships, emotions, thoughts, and even our idea of our own identity. Nothing in life remains fixed or permanent. Everything rises, exists for a period of time, and then eventually passes away. Everything. When we realize and accept the impermanent nature of all things, we can develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Difficult impermanence can be difficult to accept for many people because we tend to cling to the idea of stability and permanence. We want things to remain the same and resist change because it's uncomfortable and unsettling. However, when we accept the impermanent nature of all things, we can release ourselves from the suffering caused by attachment and resistance to change. When we resist impermanence, we create suffering for ourselves. For example, for people like us, when we resist the changes that come with aging, we can become attached to our youth and fear getting older. This attachment can cause us to suffer and miss out on the beauty of each moment. Similarly, when we resist the end of a relationship, we can hold on to resentment and pain, which can cause us to suffer even more. Accepting impermanence does not mean that we should not take care of ourselves and invest in our relationship. It simply means that we should acknowledge that everything is constantly changing and then appreciate the moments we have with loved ones and cherish the experiences we have. It also means that we accept that change is a natural part of life and that we can learn and grow from these experiences. Impermanence is central to mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment, with an open and curious attitude. When we practice mindfulness, we're encouraged to observe our thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they arise and as they pass away, with the understanding that nothing is permanent or fixed. We recognize that our thoughts and emotions are constantly changing and that we can observe them without becoming attached to them or resisting them. Impermanence is significant in mindfulness meditation practice for several reasons. First, it helps us to let go of our attachment to things that we might be holding on to, like negative thoughts or difficult emotions. We can recognize that these thoughts, emotions, and feelings are not permanent and will eventually pass. This can help us remain calm and peaceful, even in challenging situations. Second, impermanent helps us appreciate the present moment. When we realize that everything is impermanent, we can appreciate the beauty of each moment and savor the experiences we have. The only time you feel joy is in the present moment. Stay in this present moment and you open the door to joy in your life. We can let go of our worries about the future or regrets about the past and focus on the here and now, and then let it go when it passes. Third, impermanence helps us develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. When we pay attention to our thoughts, emotions, and sensations with a non-judgmental attitude, we can become more aware of our patterns of thinking and behavior. We can recognize that our thoughts and our emotions are not fixed, but are constantly changing. This can give you the freedom to make different choices and to change your habits. And then finally, impermanence helps us to cultivate compassion and empathy towards others. When we realize that everything is impermanent, including the people we love and care about, we can appreciate them more fully and treat them with kindness and understanding. We can let go of our judgments and criticisms of others and recognize that they too are struggling with the impermanence of life. Now, impermanence and attachment are closely related concepts. Impermanence refers to the fact that everything in life is constantly changing and in a state of flux. Attachment, on the other hand, refers to our tendency to cling to things that we believe will bring us happiness and security, even though those things are impermanent. So impermanence and attachments are closely related. Attachments can take many forms, like material possessions, relationships, or even our own identity or sense of self. When we become attached to something, we invest a great deal of energy and emotion into it, and we'll feel a sense of love or suffering when we're forced to let go of it, when it changes. Impermanence and attachments are closely related because attachment is often the result of our resistance to impermanence. We want things to remain the same. We think they'll bring us happiness and security. When we resist impermanence, when we resist change, we create suffering for ourselves. This attachment can cause us to suffer and miss out on the beauty of each moment. Attachments are based on your idea of happiness and how some external thing will help bring it about. But things change, so this kind of happiness is not stable. Better to know that happiness comes from within yourself. In mindfulness practice, we learn to observe our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment and to be present in each moment. We recognize that everything is impermanent, including our thoughts and emotions, and that we can observe them without becoming attached or resisting them. By letting go of our attachment to things that are impermanent, we find greater peace and happiness in our life. We practice this letting go with every breath we exhale. Impermanence is a fundamental truth of existence, and it's something that we must accept to live a peaceful and fulfilled life. When we accept the impermanent nature of all things, we can release ourselves from suffering caused by attachment and resistance to change. We can learn to appreciate each moment and invest in the experiences that bring us joy and fulfillment. We can appreciate the beauty of life and be more compassionate towards ourselves and others. Mindfulness practice can help us develop a deeper understanding of impermanence, and by this, live more fully in each moment. So, how was your meditation in the last week? Richard, you got here first, so I'll give you the question.
Well, it's been good in that it's showing how our thoughts build our cages, and the cage is an illusion anyway. But we meditation helps in realizing that.
Yes, yes,
And these
and
thoughts are just like things, the impermanence of all things. You know,
right. And
every,
that includes the thoughts. The thoughts come and go.
exactly.
And I figure I don't need to hold on to it because I'll have another one coming up in a minute.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So in that way, it's like it's good to keep waking up to those
Yes,
illusory thoughts that
yes,
make you believe you're in a cage, and the subject, which is ever still, that's the freedom from things, the freedom, the absolute present moment. And Raman even said that there isn't even a present moment. That truly the self is beyond time.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's so good that you're looking at thoughts. That's a productive area for long-term kind of investigation. And the more you look at them, the more you realize how thoughts create their own world, and that if you believe in them, then you buy into that imaginary creation.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
But there's something in each moment that you don't imagine.
That's mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that just makes you happy.
That's, yeah.
How have you been doing, Barley?
Good. I spent several meditation sessions on YouTube with Thich Nhat Hanh, and he had some guided meditations.
Oh, very
And
good.
he uses the gong. I love the gong.
Uh-huh.
And then it was about every 5 minutes where he'll say 2 sentences to kind of keep you on track.
Uh-huh.
But I find I'm looking at YouTube, I'm looking at the news and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden there's Thich Nhat Hanh. So I click them on.
That's very good.
Yeah.
And for me, I appreciate the fact that YouTube often suggests to me videos like that I would be interested in that I wouldn't find otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to know what you're thinking about.
So thank you, algorithm.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, how about you, Doug?
That's true about that YouTube, because when I watch videos of yours, Richard, a lot of they're promoting others that are just closely related.
Uh-huh.
And often after I finish with your videos, and I go to one of the others, and sometimes they're pretty interesting.
Yes.
So I
Yes,
notice
we're
yours don't have commercials, but the other ones do.
That's That's right. Carol's been talking to me about that sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she just, I have said that what I want to do for retirement is, if what you want me to do is so awful, you have to pay me to do it, then I don't want to do it. And so I'm happy to do everything for free. And occasionally Carol looks at our bank books and asks me if I'm sure.
Well, you're just making money for other people then, Richard, if there's commercials on yours.
Oh, well, I gotta give something. Anyway, and what you're saying, Doug, is also, I find, again, there are wonderful teachers out there, and that because of YouTube, they're available to us with a click. And,
Yeah.
One of the things I know for myself, and I think it's true for all of us, is, we have within ourselves a solid sense of what is real and what is true. And that means we can listen to these other teachers and discriminate and discern what they're saying. And if it agrees with the truth that we know, then we can believe in what they say. And if it doesn't, we know how to just kind of dismiss it and go along, take what is good and ignore what is not.
There's so many different ways of saying it.
Right. Yeah, and what I think the reason there are so many different ways of saying it, I believe, is that, it's not cognitive. It's not something that is made up out of words and objects. And so we try our best to describe it using words and objects, but we are trying to make the words do something that they're not really designed to do. And so, in that situation, it doesn't surprise me that there are a lot of people who try to say it in different ways.
Yes, like Richard was saying, the freedom of meditation, which is something that I've been noticing too, is that meditation just once you can get rid of your thoughts, then there's the freedom that comes
Yes,
from those thoughts, and
yes, yes,
it's really a wonderful thing.
yes, yes. It seems like you are striking a real productive strain in your meditation if you're noticing that. I've said there comes a time in the practice where the practice feeds you and nourishes you. And when you find that, it just keeps going. So very good, very good. How about you, Carol?
Well, it's been steady, if not too productive, but it's been steady. And I think I said this the last time, but I find that, throughout the day, I have little mini sessions, where I can think back to, separating myself from my thoughts and stuff. And that's always feels good to do that.
Yes, that's very good. And again, that's a real positive sign when the meditation starts leaking out in your life. Anyway, very good. So it sounds like everybody is doing well. That's good. Makes me happy. So now, in that case, why don't we do a little meditation? And mindfulness is present moment awareness, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. All right. And now we have a video. It's a guided meditation from the Daily Calm on impermanence.
Welcome to the Daily Calm. I'm your host, Tamara Levitt. Let's start today's session by taking a position that's comfortable. Feel the pull of gravity, how your body is pulled towards the earth. Close your eyes and take a moment to scan your body. Just gently seeing if anything wants to relax or let go. Notice any emotions, the state of your heart. And just see if anything comes up for you and wants to be acknowledged. Now settling into whatever is here with openness and attentiveness. And as we often do, to start, let's take a few long, deep breaths. With each breath in, let your abdomen gently expand. And then release the air fully. Enjoy each breath as it moves through you. And then relax the breath so it feels natural. And let's spend a few moments bringing attention to the rising and falling sensations of the breath. Observing the breath with a sense of curiosity, noticing its rhythm, noticing how it feels, all the subtle details. Observe each breath with curiosity as it flows through you. And as you breathe, you may notice emotions arise. Restlessness, a sense of calm, boredom, fatigue. You may experience happiness, sadness, anxiety, peace, confusion, or anger. Sometimes emotions sweep through us as we sit, and our instinct is to push them away, or perhaps even stop our practice. So see if you can observe emotion without identifying with it, so that you notice whatever comes up, but realize it's just a passing emotion. All emotion comes and goes. It's not you, it's a temporary experience of this moment. See if, just like the breath, you can get curious about your experience. Stay close to it. Observe what's happening as a witness, so that you don't feel pressured to run or fast forward through life. Rather, stay very close and become intimate with whatever's going on in your experience, knowing everything rises and passes, rises and passes. Now relax your attention gently. There's a great quote by Joey Green that reads, "The way to live in the present is to remember that this too shall pass." When you experience joy, remembering that this too shall pass helps you savor the here and now. When you experience pain and sorrow, remembering that this too shall pass reminds you that grief, like joy, is only temporary. And as we end today's practice, take a moment to congratulate yourself for working in ways that can sometimes feel challenging. Some days will feel easy, and some days won't. But as you learn to work with emotion through practice, you'll find it much easier to work with in day-to-day life. Now gently come back to the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I hope you enjoyed today's Daily Calm. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Okay, and now we will have another meditation. Just close your eyes and take a few minutes to become fully present and take in everything presented by your senses. Be present here and now and disregard thoughts that don't have to do with the present moment. All right. And let us close with our chant. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. All right. Any discussion, dialogue, questions?
That stillness is the most wonderful taste.
Just now, did you like the meditation image to begin with the child and woman and old woman?
Yes, who was the author? I love that painting.
One of the AI programs. I was,
Oh, I hate knowing that. It
you know,
looked like
I
a
was,
Urban Expressionist or something.
and the one thing I asked it to do is have lots of green. And anyway, I routinely use these kind of images, and basically, I steal them as I go along. And I was just wondering, could I get AI to do some image that we liked, was good for us, that I wasn't stealing it?
Did you ask for some in the style of someone specific,
No,
or
I didn't.
it looked like a German Expressionist? I mean, I was sure
Right.
I've seen that same painter before.
Is that with an app?
That is with one of these free generative AI drawing programs like Dolly, where you put in a text prompt and get out some kind of images, and you can ask them to do it in style and particular artists. You can ask them to do it photorealistic. I'm still figuring out how to get it to do what I want it to do.
Interesting.
Wow.
Could you do that for a presentation at UU where you do it right as you're working with the computer? I don't
Oh,
know.
you wouldn't do it there because you don't know what you're going to get,
Oh, okay.
or I don't know what I'm going to get. And it's some of them, you give it its prompt and they'll give you 4 different images.
Mm. Well, I know Matt did one presentation on AI. That was my first experience learning about it.
Ah,
remember?
okay.
It wasn't that long ago.
Yes, yes.
Now it's everywhere. Or I hear talking about it everywhere.
Right. It's been a busy, these programs that they're talking about basically were released about the beginning of December of last year, and they've shown up everywhere, and there are a lot of different tools that they can do anyway. And I'm just exploring that stuff because they help people like me.
Yeah.
I keep saying Richard is having a bromance with AI. I hear about it all the time.
Yeah, you hear them and they're screaming, huh?
No, I am.
Right. I haven't gotten the AI to meditate with me, though.
Oh. I can't imagine that.
Anyway, things change, and this is an example of the change that we have going through now.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
It's impermanent.
Impermanence. And so again, the thing to do with the impermanence is, while it's here, enjoy it, revel in it. Smell the flowers.
Don't get attached.
Right. And then the hard part of all of that is then let it go. Even what you love, let it go. And you find when you let go of what you love, it doesn't reduce the amount of love space that you have. I suspect letting it go increases your ability to love.
Well, it's easy to say about things. People are a different
Right,
thing,
right.
and animals are a different thing, but
right. But again, it's still the same thing. Whatever you have with them is impermanent.
Yeah.
And
face it.
enjoy it while you got it. And then be willing to say goodbye. With people, that's hard,
Oh, yeah.
except a few. Anyway, thank you guys all for joining me today. You want deeper meditation, more peace, more happiness. Subscribe now to continue to find ways to get more from your meditation. And we'll see
Thank
you
you,
next
Richard.
week and have good meditations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.